In conversation with some fascinating ladies who've changed the game in the world of video, music and gaming. Only on Hungama's Women Game Changers podcast.
Hi, welcome to Hungama's celebration of the 50 Game Changers 2023. Over this season, you will get to know women who are chalking their own path and paving the way for the multitudes to follow in the field of entertainment across music, video and gaming. I'm Ronak from Hungama, and it is my pleasure to welcome the woman who likes to mix it up in the field of gaming with games in wellness and care across VR, AR, and mixed reality games. Vandana Goyal embodies this generation of founders in their constant search for knowledge and breakthroughs as she evolves her own skill set as well as her company's focus to stay a step ahead of the trendcasters. Hi Vandana, thank you for taking the time to share the knowledge and shorten the learning curve.
Hi Ronak, delighted to be here to be part of this conversation, and I'm privileged and thank you for acknowledging my work done so far. Although it's a long journey, but to achieve more higher and higher. Thank you.
Yes, I think for all of us, these are stepping stones, and we're just delighted to cheer you on as you take your next few steps. Vandana, in the space of gaming, particularly in XR, it's the number of women who are being able to make their mark, who are being able to lead from the front are fewer. Can you tell me a little bit about the journey? More importantly, about getting accepted in the field and then getting ahead.
Sure. So my journey has started as a software developer, a technologist. And after I completed masters in computers, I joined the company like TCS and other companies, taking care of the clients like for servicing like others, HD, Microsoft and all. But when I thought to start my own, so I thought I should follow my passion. I love playing games since I was a kid. In summer breaks, me and my cousins used to play these indoor card and board games. So I thought when I think the gaming company, I should start at that time when the BlackBerry and J2Me phones were in the market. So although the Android was new to us that time, but it's a good journey. It's a good, it's a good way to start their own company. And I think I did quite well on that time. So luckily with the grace of God, so journey so far is good enough, good to move ahead. And obviously, when you were into the working for a company, you hardly get a chance to interact other peers as a business head, although that experience was missing that time. So when I joined this different other genre from service industry to the gaming industry, then I, follow my passion and, I used to go to different conferences to learn people and others. And I think it's a learning curve. And obviously, this learning journey is going so far and far to achieve better.
That's fantastic. Can you tell the people listening some of the conferences that you thought added a lot of value to your insights in the industry? And just what are the sort of networking tools that helped you along the way?
Oh, definitely. So, there are lots of conferences coming in India. So I started joining this IGDC, or it was NGDC. This is India Developer Game Conference, which is usually happening in Hyderabad. I joined that almost every year. And also I joined GDC, which is happening in San Francisco, US. I got a privilege. There are other conferences like Casual Connect, PG Connect. So even there are lots of communities which are, chapter wise for Delhi chapter, for Bangalore chapter. One should, join those communities so that you will interact these different peers, what other people are doing. You will get inspiration and, update your skills and game and everything.
Okay, at this point, Vandana, can you share with us some of the notable projects that you have or are working on?
Okay, yeah. So, my games are majorly focusing on card, casual, board, and casino games. I mean, these are the genre which I'm really working right now but apart from that, I'm also working on augmented reality, AR, VR, and XR, where these are majorly for B2B other than B2C. Like where I usually work for different, technology solutions to provide more gamification solution for doing some purpose-driven the work to encourage more sales, more growth for their venture.
Okay. Coming to your journey in gaming as a woman? What are some of the unique challenges you think you faced as a woman in gaming, in XR, that maybe you can share with us?
Yeah, so when I started, the resources were very less. There were, if I face any issue, then obviously I have to jump into and brainstorming, because, when there is a new technology coming up, the resources are less. If you are taking care of things on a front liner, then obviously you have to build a community. So it was helpful when I joined lots of LinkedIn group and communities to follow how they are doing, so that, I will update my prototype along with those lines and all. So I think that really help in polishing your product, whether you are making for your own or for different vendors. And I think this is these are the upcoming technologies, which is actually polishing the other to solve the things in a better way. Even these AR and VR things, which is coming, taking care of the industry like education or a healthcare. So I think it's a good, to be a part of the industry where you solve a people's problem using latest technologies.
I agree. I actually think you're absolutely right. There is so much that is going to come out of XR, and if not in pure gaming format, but in gamified formats. In, I think, training, in healthcare, in education. So, I think these are becoming very interesting spaces. So, in the long run, Vandana, what is your big impact space? What are, where would you like this to kind of morph into or grow into from like a vision perspective?
Right now, I think, we are thinking things from a two angle. One is a local angle and the global market angle. I think if someone has to grow, then we have to think to deliver things for the global market. And if you look at the global market is very much capitalized, very competitive in gaming, AR and VR space. So we, although there are lots of white spaces available where you can, put your effort and create some prototype or something, so that it will solve the people's problem. And obviously, when you solve some people's problem, then people will love it, because, you will give your best in form of simplicity, the solution. So I think, another way is to think like potentially to look the game, the kind of a game genre I'm working. So if it is... For example, if it is for an entertainment industry, for example, because we used to create the card and board game. So, it's good to see the people smile when they play our games. They give a good feedback out of it. It's a simple game, and you actually beautifully created the game, which they used to play when they were very young on their childhood time. So there was a game like Sholo Guti. This game is actually very popular in Bengali region and all. And this is a pure Desi game. They used to play with the stones and all. So we created that game in a mobile version. So it's a mobile game. And the kind of a, user feedback giving to our game. So it's really good to have, like, you achieve in terms of, because people love your game.
Yeah, actually user feedback is a wonderful thing. When it's positive, it's terrific. When it's negative, it's also very constructive. How do you use user feedback in your iterative process, in the process of building XRK?
Okay, so basically, sometimes it happens people don't like, because sometimes when you create, it's sort of a freemium game. So we add some advertisement there in between of two junction or two after a gameplay or before a gameplay, because we have to think of our revenue as well. So people don't like that. So and they used to give a feedback like this is not good, or sometimes when we have asked, we have just added this feature is coming up and they are looking for only that feature, and we have not worked for that feature for like 2-3 months. So people will bombarding a lots of bad reviews. Why you are not releasing that? Because we have downloaded your app or a game because of that only. So obviously they are pushing, the users' feedback is always pushing you and giving you a right direction, whether your app or a game is actually requires a update, because that's very important to polish the things.
Yeah, that is. Tell me, Vandana, as a person who comes from a technical mindset, but also, somebody who's telling sort of stories in her games, or sort of being able to share that experience from an entertainment point of view, how do you balance the technical and the creative side?
I think
but also within your company.
Okay, so basically, what is, for example, when you create any game, obviously the game designing is a part of before developing any game. You pick the right game engine, but defining the game flow, the game design, the story, because game sometimes basic classic game does not have a story. But if you are look for a big game, like I'm not talking about the AAA games, serious game, but sometimes they are very people actually, the gaming is something which is actually connect to user psychology, and we connect those points with base of storytelling. So for example, there are lots of 3-match puzzle game. So people, what is really happening these days, you have to build an empire based on the game. So for example, if you completed one level, then automatically fountain comes in a background. And if you are on the second level or a third level, then if you completed that, then the grass has opened, you have to give water, like those are the storytelling, in a gamification. And also you actually connect people with their psychology, so that it will, giving a good impact out of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. And you're right, psychology is playing, I think, more and more a part in gaming. Not just, I think, in design, but also, I think, in, people seeing themselves in their games. 46% of all gamers are now women. 10%, I believe, identify within the LGBTQIA plus community. And yet we're not seeing them so easily resonating within the games they are playing. So how do you believe, the role of women in gaming, both on the production and development side, and more importantly, in the representation side, how do you believe that is going to change, and in what particular genres?
I think women nowadays are actively involved in the gaming industry for many years. I mean, both as a player point of view and a professional point of view. And although this industry was specifically dominated by the male players and the developers, and the presence, we have to influence other women who are into the gaming to, we have to support other people, support other women, to encourage to be a part of this community. I think this is a very good way, because you are actually impacting others to come to our gaming ecosystem. So although there is a very big shift which is happening in a gaming ecosystem, with more female creators are coming using various digital platforms to showcase their talent and everything. I think although the industry was male dominated, but it is slowly changing. And I think this need to be a very consistent effort to make this shift permanent.
So I'm going to pick up on something you hinted on, Vandana, and we do need to encourage more women, not just to join the industry, but sort of, funnel them to the top. But what I'd like to understand from you is, who are the men or women who mentored you, supported you, and in turn, who are the people that you feel that you have been able to turn around and encourage and mentor yourself?
I think I was mentored by my friends and a family. They encourage me. Even, I told you about, when I was working in a company, I hardly get a chance to go for any conferences at all. But when I started my company, so my friends and family support me and encourage me to join the conference and try to give, talk to people, try to get a business out of it. Because you have to grow yourself as a business leader. And when I joined these conferences, I learned a lot. And I think this is very important. Somebody has to encourage, you have to support each other. Even I think one should not restrict yourself. So, I mean, there are lots of entrepreneurial stories available. You should watch those and, encourage yourself. This is a right way to, to come up with your passion and just deliver the best. Listen to your heart.
Yeah, increasingly I'm hearing a very strong resounding vote for self-motivation and self-reliance. So I think that's interesting to see a lot of women who are rising to the top actually sort of coming out and speaking in favor of that.
Yes.
On the flip side, Vandana, do you feel like you ever dealt with the boys' club or the bro culture? Did you ever feel like you were the imposter in the room?
Luckily, I haven't faced any issue so far. Touch wood. But when someone facing that issue, we should, support that person to come out from that. Although it's a personal choice maybe, but so I don't. Luckily, I have faced any issue. I haven't faced.
Okay. As a founder, Vandana, you're in a unique position in the sense that it's a little bit lonely because you're keeping an eye on tomorrow's trends today, and you're also trying to balance between developing cutting-edge technology, state-of-the-art solutions, and yet meeting the demands of the gaming market, where India still remains in some game categories largely ad funded. So how do you manage both the loneliness of being a founder as well as the balance between the economic realities as well as the need to kind of grow and do R&D, even though those are largely investment areas?
Yeah. So I think obviously when you being a single founder, you obviously looking for someone to brainstorming the idea or the kind of a work you are doing. So I have I told you I have a good circle in my friends and family who actually I talk to them, I took advice from them whether I'm doing right or wrong, and these people are actually at a very good position and they did well at their end. So they always encourage me. Obviously, I feel that the learning is something because if you I'm at a right industry where the gaming is not just related to the technologies thing, but it is also related to the creativity. And I think it's good to be, I'm looking at this industry, which is actually growing and evolving over time. And there are lots of content available, lots of groups available. Even I'm also a part of the one accelerator program doing by Google and the MITI, Government of India. So they, where you actually talk to them, because being a part of a startup or being a part of these accelerator programs, you talk to different entrepreneurs at your mid-stage journey. You inspire, you talk, and you, polish yourself and, grow further. So I think one has to just follow their path with passion and grit. Then I think the sky is the limit.
That's lovely and that's positive. And I hope that message goes out to all of the audience that really perseverance is the only path, especially as a founder. Tell me, in gaming over the last couple of years, even more so, but I would say in the last half decade, what are the ethical considerations that you think that the gaming industry needs to bring in, just from a self-regulation point of view?
I think, if you talk about, I think 6 months back, there is a esports betting related companies has grown up, lots of good company who are working on a real money side. Now the government is taking care of, to bifurcate the mobile gaming, or the working on a real money gaming and the mobile gaming, and XR gaming is a separate thing. So I think, government is actually looking onto those angle, and they are just creating a policy out of it. And I think it's a good decision by them.
Yes, I think, regulations also give clarity. Because when you build a game, it's a large investment. When you know what the stops and bells and whistles are going to be, you know how to sort of keep them in mind. So I think regulations give clarity, and you're right, it's a good space for them to start.
And this top 50 women game changer tag, like for this you have given us for 22-23, it's not just only inspire me, but it also impacts so many others, to work harder and to be better. And I think this initiative taken by Hungama is actually, delighted, and thank you for this. Because, when you are part of some journey and somebody will acknowledging that, the constant growth or the constant path, then obviously it pushes us to encourage us to, to do well further.
It's worth celebrating the work that you've been doing. Vandana, thank you for joining us today. It was lovely talking to you and learning. And congratulations. We look forward to the many mountains you will still climb.
Thank you so much, Ronak, and thank you for this conversation.
Okay, this is Ronak from Hungama. Thank you for tuning in today, and stay with us as we meet more women in entertainment who aren't just playing the game, they're changing it.
In conversation with some fascinating ladies who've changed the game in the world of video, music and gaming. Only on Hungama's Women Game Changers podcast.